Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where I talk about living life with a new perspective. So with Mother's Day just around the corner, I thought, let me talk about how being half blind affects my kids and me as a mom. I first want to talk about the reaction when I got home from the hospital. For some strange reason, the nurse that day, even though my eye is only this big, she put really large gauze pads and tape, like pretty much covering half my face, so it was a bit much. I was, kind of, wondering how they would react to that. So my kids at that time were 1 and 2, but almost 2 and 3 because their birthdays were right around the corner. And so when my 1-year-old saw me, he did not care about the bandages. He just ran right up to me, was super happy to see me. He was just happy that, mama is home. But my 2-year-old was a little more aware of what was going on and a little more in shock because, in his world, his mom has just been gone for 5 days. He had no idea where I was or what was going on. And now here I was back, but with half my face bandaged up. So it was a little bit more of a shock for him. And so when he first came downstairs with my mom, he just stayed on the other side of the room completely. And he just was staying in my mom's lap. And whenever my mom would ask him, like, do you want to go hug mama? Do you want to go see mama? Or do you want to go sit with mama? He just shook his head. Like, he just seemed more like concerned, like what is going on? Like he knew something was up and he didn't want to come near me. He was too nervous. And so then I just kind of thought, well, let me take my bandages off and see how he feels about that. But I was a little nervous because my eye did look pretty gnarly. It was sewn shut and pretty bruised up just from all the swelling that had happened over the last few days. But for whatever reason, once I took those bandages off, I could see the tension just leave his body and he softened up and he slowly started coming towards me and he just kind of looked at my face and, still didn't want to, I was respecting his boundaries. He still didn't want to come sit next to me or in my lap or anything, but he just asked for a bandage. He wanted tape on his eye. And so we put medical tape on his eye. And then he asked for tape for his toy animals. So we put tape on his toy animals. And suddenly, for whatever reason, just doing that made him totally comfortable. Then he was totally up for giving me hugs, sitting in my lap. He wanted me to read books to him. And he was just, went back to just running around the house and playing like nothing was going on. So it was just kind of sweet to see the way a toddler processes things. So that was cute. Now, jump forward to today. How does being half blind affect my kids and me now? For the most part, not too much. Although I will say with my younger son, because he's a lot more just all over the place and all up in my grill, I have knocked him over quite a few times because I have no peripheral vision on my right side. And especially like if things are low, like he's pretty short, he's 2 years old now. A lot of times if he's just running around on that side of me or trying to come up to me, I do not see him and I have knocked him over. Not a lot, but maybe like a handful of times in the past 5 months. Wow, it's been 5 months that I've been half blind now. I just realized that. Anyways, so I knock him over every now and then. But there are, because every mom is just always worried about their kids and just worried in general. So there are some concerns that I have sometimes because, with 2 toddlers, a lot of times I walk with both kids holding one of my hands. And again, like I said, I have no peripheral on my right side. So a lot of times if I'm walking with both boys and looking straight ahead, I cannot see whoever is on my right side. I cannot see them at all. And sometimes that makes me nervous because, there's that expression that moms have eyes in the back of their head. Well, I don't even have 2 functional eyes on the front of my head. And so sometimes I, worry about like, what if something happens to them or what if they're in danger and like it's on this side and I can't see them, because a mom's number 1 job is to protect. And so for a while I did really worry about that. Like, what if my kids aren't as protected as kids of, moms with full vision, just you think about this kind of stuff when you suddenly go half blind, But then something that has always comforted me my entire life in every situation, and I say it all the time, is that nothing surprises God. God knows everything that's going to happen in our life. He has good plans for our life. And, he knew that this was going to happen to me. He knew that I was going to become half blind, and it didn't alter his good plans for my life. And he has good plans for my children's lives. He knew that they were going to have a half-blind mom, and that did not alter his good plans for their lives. So I just trust in him. And I just always remember that as much as he loves my kids and as much as he loves me, he chose me to be their mom. And so I just know that I can be a good mom because he chose me to be. And I hold on to that, and I remind myself that, you know, anytime that I just feel inadequate in any area, whether or not that concerns my eye. So let that be a reminder to you, if you're a mom out there, no matter what your struggle might be, God chose you to be your child or your children's mom. So be confident in that. Know who you are. You are a daughter of God, and you are a mom of God. So go on with your bad self. But anyways, that's all I have to say about that. And just a reminder, follow me on Instagram if you're not already, because I have been posting a lot of reels and just extra monocular moments that I think of randomly throughout the day. So follow me in all the places, Instagram and TikTok. And keep an eye out for my next video where I will be talking about the trauma of my hospital experience. See you later.